It look like Bria Hartley just got instant karma, bro. She out for the season. I'm here to tell you the most dirtiest player in the WNBA contract has been written, bro. And I'm here to tell you she's out for the season. Yes, you heard me correctly. Yeah, man, Bria Hartley. So Connecticut PR has released a statement. Bria Hartley is to miss the remainder of the season.
One single smirk. That's all it took to turn a basketball game into a firestorm that engulfed the entire WNBA. When Bria Hartley was caught grinning as Sophie Cunningham lay on the floor with a season-ending injury, fans saw more than just bad sportsmanship, they saw a villain. But what happened next was a twist so perfectly timed, it felt like it was scripted by a higher power. The same player at the center of the controversy would find her own season cut short in a shocking parallel. Was this a bizarre coincidence, or did the basketball gods just serve up the coldest dish of karma the league?
This picture is going viral with Bria Hartley with the sinister grin, right? This malevolent look that's on her face right now. Clearly smiling after injuring Sophie Cunningham, man.
Is the play that just occurred.
That's like she tries to slide over right there, and Hartley just kind of falls and makes collision with that lower leg. You see her immediately grab it. And she went down hard and was clearly in a lot of pain.
The play itself was brutal, a chaotic moment under the basket that ended with Sophie Cunningham absorbing a brutal blow and crashing to the hardwood. But it was her reaction that silenced the arena. There was no attempt to get up, no toughing it out. Just an immediate, gut-wrenching grab of her knee and a look of pure agony. Trainers rushed over, teammates gathered around, and the mood inside the arena turned heavy. The usual bounce-back moment you expect from a hard fall never came. Her reaction told you everything, that pain was different, and everyone watching knew her season was likely over in that single devastating instant.
Oh, and Cunningham is down. My goodness. Should be. In a scary moment as we went to commercial, Sophie Cunningham hit the floor hard and she is being helped off the floor, heading back to the locker room.
With Cunningham still down, her future uncertain, the broadcast camera panned over to Bria Hartley. And there it was, a smirk. A subtle yet undeniable grin that was captured for the world to see. In that moment, the narrative was no longer about a hard foul. It became about intent. The image ignited a digital wildfire, spreading across social media within minutes. Fans replayed the clip, zoomed in on Hartley's face, and came to one chilling conclusion: that smile wasn't an accident. It was the look of someone who knew exactly what they'd done, and worse, seemed to enjoy it.
Sophie Cunningham, let's be clear here. Sophie Cunningham was targeted. Let's be very, very clear here. But Sophie Cunningham was flat out targeted by a dirty, dirty player.
But what goes through a player's mind in a moment like that? Psychologists might argue it's a nervous reaction, an involuntary response to a high-stress situation. Others might claim it's the mask of a competitor who refuses to show vulnerability or concern. But the public saw neither of those things. They saw a cold, calculated display of disrespect. The smirk became a Rorschach test for every fan watching. Some saw a monster, others saw a misunderstood athlete caught at the worst possible second. But in the ruthless arena of social media, perception is reality, and the perception was that Bria Hartley was celebrating an injury. That single expression locked in her reputation before she ever had a chance to defend it.
Making all kind of excuses to say that Bria Hartley is not a dirty player. Let me tell y'all something, man. Come on in here. Come on in here, man. Let me tell y'all something. If it quacks like a duck, walks like a duck, eats like a duck, it's a duck, man. Come on, man. She is the dirtiest player in the WNBA right now, winning the trophy. All right? Winning the trophy for it. Don't sit here and try to tell me Bria Hartley is not a dirty player.
The court of public opinion delivered its verdict instantly and without mercy. Fans argued that no player accidentally smirks after seriously injuring an opponent. That single frame of footage became the only evidence that mattered, overriding any other context. Even when Sophie Cunningham herself tried to defuse the situation, stating she was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, the public wasn't buying it. The visual was too powerful, the smirk too telling. People can accept that basketball is a physical, sometimes violent, sport. What they couldn't stomach was the appearance of someone taking pleasure.
Atkins, 7 to shoot. Cardoso rolls, catch. Cardoso over the top, can't get it. Reese fights for the rebound and a foul, and this time gets a little chippy and a shove on Nelson Adota. And listen, this arena, typically we'll see some ringside fights.
That clip circulated fast, and by the time everyone added it to Hartley's reputation file, she already had another incident waiting.
This wasn't some rookie mistake or a one-off bad look. For many, Bria Hartley's smirk was simply confirmation of a reputation that had been building all season. The reaction was so swift and severe because fans felt they had seen this before. Commentators and writers didn't hesitate, quickly labeling the collision the dirtiest play of the year, not just for its outcome, but for the perceived malice behind it. Headlines ran with outrage, fans flooded comment sections demanding accountability, and the photo of her grin became Exhibit A in a case that painted Hartley as a reckless player who consistently crossed the line.
So Mike put this up about an hour ago. He said, to all of those defending Bria Hartley, look at what she liked on Instagram. Emo, she's the dirtiest player in the league and should be kicked out. Most recently, Sophie Cunningham has been hurt with the knee tear and is out for the season. Look at this. Look at this. Now, Bria is the definition of consistency. Now, this is her liking this. This is her liking this post. Y'all see that? Breezy, 1414, and others. Bria is the definition. She's liking this post. Look at this. Death taxes and Bria Hartley always being at the scene of the crime. Now, that's her choke slamming Angel Reese.
The receipts on Hartley's aggressive style were already circulating long before the incident with Sophie. Earlier in the season, she was at the center of a firestorm after a tangle with Angel Reese, where footage appeared to show Hartley grabbing a fistful of Reese's hair during a rebound battle. You don't confuse a swipe for a handful of braids, and Reese's immediate angry reaction told the whole story. Then there was the run-in with Rebecca Allen, who caught a hard shove that once again had fans pointing fingers. None of these moments resulted in major discipline, but they were being compiled by an increasingly angry fan base, painting a picture of a player who lived on the edge of the rules.
Indiana Fever fans wake up pissed off today. Pissed off. Not only are we getting assaulted, but they're smiling about it. This is the 6th time they've smiled, laughed, and cheered on our Indiana Fever players getting assaulted, getting injured, and it pisses me off.
But was this just one player's problem, or was it a symptom of a team's identity? The Connecticut Sun have long cultivated a reputation for being the toughest, most physical team in the WNBA. They pride themselves on an aggressive, blue-collar style of play that wears opponents down. But fans began to ask where the line was between toughness and recklessness. Was Bria Hartley an outlier, or was she simply the most visible product of a system that encourages its players to push the boundaries of physicality? The questions swirled, and suddenly the entire Connecticut organization was under a microscope, accused of fostering a culture that...
Maybe you should focus her sister. Maybe you should focus less on fining players for commenting on your poor officiating and more about hiring officials that are capable to call a consistent game and protect your athletes. Pathetic. Praying for you. The only good thing positive surrounding Sophie Cunningham coming out of this game, she looked in good spirits in the locker room.
The anger wasn't just directed at Hartley or the Sun, it was aimed squarely at the league and its referees. Fans were furious over what they saw as a glaring double standard. Players like Sophie Cunningham had been fined thousands of dollars earlier in the season, simply for criticizing officiating. Yet a player with a growing history of dangerous contact seemed to face no consequences at all. The fury wasn't just aimed at Hartley, it was pointed at a league that punishes players for criticizing refs faster than it punishes reckless contact.
Bria Hartley deserves zero benefit of the doubt. And Sophie Cunningham's family not too happy. I believe this is Mama C. Hartley is a disgruntled player having trouble everywhere she goes. She's playing mean and plays out of control. Looked out of control to me.
This incident also ignited a much larger, more urgent debate. Is the WNBA doing enough to protect its stars? The league is experiencing an unprecedented surge in popularity, largely thanks to a new generation of talent led by Caitlin Clark. With more eyes on the game than ever before, every hit, every foul, and every injury is magnified. The collision that took out Sophie Cunningham became a symbol of a league at a crossroads. Would it step up and implement stricter rules to protect its most valuable assets? Or would it continue to allow a brand of overly aggressive basketball?
It's stated Connecticut Sun guard Bria Hartley will miss the remainder of the season due to a meniscus tear in her right knee. Injury sustained during team practice. You got hurt at practice? Hartley is expected to make a full recovery. So you mean to tell me her own team hurt her? Oh my God. Her own team hurt her? Oh man. Oh dog. This is funny as hell. I should laugh. But damn, dog. How your own team hurt you, bro? Hartley is expected to make a full recovery. Additional updates will be provided.
This sense of injustice was amplified when Sophie's own family broke their silence. Her sister Lindsay and mother Paula went public with their outrage, and they didn't hold back. They questioned why the league was so quick to punish players with fines, but so slow to act on plays that could end careers. Paula Cunningham went even further, labeling Hartley a disgruntled player having trouble everywhere she goes and calling her actions plain mean and out of control. It was a raw, emotional rebuke that validated everything fans were feeling. The league's silence was deafening, and now a player's
that I was like, Bria and I are super cool, and she would never try to hurt me, because there are some girls that I think might, but she wouldn't do that. And so I have nothing but.
Well, Sophie, I got news for you. The universe thought otherwise. They got her ass up out of here, bro. Damn. Which they weren't going to the playoffs anyways, but man, karma's a ish. I just gotta keep it real, bro. I mean, this is everywhere.
With the public outcry at its peak, talk of a suspension for Bria Hartley was everywhere. Fans demanded the league make an example out of her, to send a message that this kind of play had no place in the WNBA. The pressure was mounting, and it seemed inevitable that some form of disciplinary action was coming. The league was backed into a corner, forced to respond to the viral smirk and the pile of evidence against Hartley. But before any official ruling could be handed down, the story took a shocking turn that no one could have predicted. Justice was coming, but not from the commissioner's office.
So it said, wonder if she's grinning now. Oh, instant karma on their ass. Prayers do come true. Some of the same people complaining about injury. Somebody said, man, the storyline of this league is incredible. Man, I did an incredible video talking about the injuries, dog. Somebody said, oh, that's terrible news. That's a voodoo doll. No more head hunting for her. Somebody said this was her karma. She went into every game this year and either tried to bully someone because she knew her team had her back, or she did a dirty play on someone. She knew her team had her back. She never stood up for herself and then injured someone for the whole season. And guess what? Her team ended up injuring her. Bruh.
Just as the debate over her punishment reached its climax, the Connecticut Sun released a stunning announcement. Bria Hartley was out for the rest of the season, not due to a suspension, but due to a torn meniscus in her right knee. The irony was staggering. The same player accused of ending Sophie Cunningham's season with a knee injury had just suffered her own season-ending knee injury. The parallels were so direct, so immediate, that it felt like something out of a movie. The timing wasn't just a coincidence. To thousands of fans, it was a clear and unmistakable sign from the basketball gods.
Now look, you can tell Bria Hartley, in my opinion, she launched herself into her knee. She did. And I've seen some of the reaction online, and guys, it's despicable. It really is. There's a lot of people celebrating this injury. And guess what? You can imagine who it is. It's members of the old WNBA fandom, the ones that root for Paige Beckers and Angel Reese and Asia Wilson and all the usual damn suspects.
While social media celebrated the karma, the reality for Bria Hartley was grim. Her season was over, her reputation was in tatters, and she now faced a long, lonely road to recovery under a cloud of controversy. There were no public statements of support from fellow players, no defending her actions from commentators. There was only silence. Branded the league's newest villain, she was left to deal with the consequences alone. The smirk that had defined her in the public eye had also isolated her, turning a moment of questionable judgment into a potentially career-altering catastrophe. The game had moved on, leaving her behind.
Well, you come at Sophie's sister, you come at Sophie. And Sophie saw this comment, and bless her heart, she answered it. She answered it. Some of us were raised by the words of, quote, "Don't bite off more than you can chew." And some of us didn't. Quote, F around and find out. F around and find out. Kiss. God bless this woman. Yeah, seriously. She's great.
Through it all, Sophie Cunningham showed a level of character that only made fans root for her more. On her podcast, she took the high road, calling it a basketball play and stressing she didn't believe it had malicious intent, even calling Hartley a friend. But she also showed her fire on Twitter with a defiant forward post aimed at her critics, If around and find out. This duality, grace in one moment, fierce defiance in the next, gave a complete picture of a competitor who refused to be a victim. She wouldn't let an injury define her, and she wouldn't let anyone walk over her or her family.
I know Bria, and I'm actually really good friends with Bria, and I had been waiting to get on the pod and so we could talk about this because I did want to tweet it out, but I don't think that there was no ill intent. I think it was basketball play. I was just in the wrong spot at the wrong time. She fell. Like, there's no way that she would go in there and potentially try to hurt me. And so I had nothing but love for Bria. And I even told my mom, because she tweeted something. I was like, no, Mom, I get it. But I promise you that I was like, Bria and I are super cool. And she would never try to hurt me, because there are some girls that I think might, but she wouldn't do that. And so I have nothing but love. And so I hope people stop giving Bria some heat, because I don't think she meant to do that at all.
Meanwhile, back in Indiana, the Fever were forced to keep climbing uphill. The loss of Sophie was a devastating blow to a team already fighting for its life. Injuries piled up, hardship contracts were signed, and the roster looked thin. But this team refused to fold. That resilience became their new identity, a reflection of the toughness Sophie had always embodied. They weren't just playing for wins. They were playing for their injured teammate, proving that even with their backs against the wall, they would not break.
I'm officially 3 for 3 on being fined by the WNBA.
Holy shit. For this? For the pod? Again?
They didn't like my comments on Paige Becker's.
No way.
I didn't even say anything bad.
On the whistle? On the quick whistle?
Yeah. But why?
I'm so proud of you. I'm proud of you too. Proud of you. I'm so proud of you guys. I know that sometimes it sounds like just a word when we talk about being resilient, but it's not, man. It's how we live. Yeah. It's how y'all live, and it's a tribute to you. It's a tribute to your connectedness, your togetherness, your toughness, your mindset. You never give up gritty attitudes. That's what it takes. That's what it takes.
And in her absence, the Indiana Fever refused to break. Instead of crumbling, the team seemed forged in the fire of adversity. Kelsey Mitchell erupted for a 38-point masterpiece against the Sun, a performance that earned her Eastern Conference Player of the Week. Lexi Hull stepped into a crucial leadership role, proving she could hold the team together through turmoil, and Aaliyah Boston continued her dominant battle in the paint. This team didn't fold. They got tougher. And looming over it all is the impending return of Caitlin Clark, whose comeback could turn this resilient squad into a legitimate playoff threat. The league may have failed to protect Sophie Cunningham, but her fighting spirit has ignited something in Indiana. They're not waiting to be saved. They're writing their own comeback story, and the final chapter is just beginning. If you support Sophie, then let's wish her a speedy recovery down in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen, and we will see you in the next one.